Following on from the previous video, we were trying to find the arc length from A all the way to B, and the length of a straight line. The length of a straight line is given by this. So the length of this straight line here is given by this. The length of this straight line here is given by this, and so on. So the arc length is really us summing up all the lengths here. So we can put this into here. Okay, so that will then take us to here, and then from here, hang on, and then from here we would use the mean value theorem to replace. We don't want this delta y here, so we would use the mean value theorem to replace this delta y. So this delta y here is really the same as this thing multiplying with this thing here. You see, the key to understanding this thing here is right here. We would replace this delta y here with this block multiplying with this block here. So this c here, so there must exist. So c could be right here. C, there must exist a c. Well, the c is always tracked between here and here. You see, the key to understanding this is that later on we're going to decrease delta x. At the moment, delta x is this length here, this width here. We're going to decrease delta x, but the thing is, c is always trapped in between the two. So as you decrease as you decrease delta x, so let's say here, okay, C is trapped somewhere in between the two. Let's say C is here. C is trapped somewhere in between the two. Decrease it even further. You see, somewhat C is trapped somewhere in between, and then decrease it further, and then you're forcing C into. So C really becomes the, well, you're forcing the C's. Well, so from here, replace this thing with this. Times this thing here. So what you've got here is so what you've got here, hang on, what you've got here is this. So you've got one block squared. So that's like this thing here squared, and then this thing here. What you've got here at the moment, what you've got here is one block multiplying with another block, and you're squaring it. So that's this thing squaring it. So you're getting this thing multiplying by itself. Okay, so merge these two together, so that then becomes, well, my point is that from here we can factorize out this thing here, because look at this. At the moment you've got this thing plus this whole thing here. This thing is in common. This thing here is in common. Factor it out, so that will then give you this. Because if you multiply this out, it will. This times this will give you this. This times this will then give you this. So from here, factorize it. It will give you this thing here. Okay, and then here, what you've got here is one block multiplying with this block. That's what you've got at the moment. So when you have a square root of a times the square root of b, that's the same as root a times root b. So that's, or I'm just switching these two around. So this thing here is this thing, and this thing here is this thing here. Okay, and then square root a squared, so that then becomes delta x, and then and then that will then take you to this stage here, and now you can take the limit. So take the limit. So the arc length is, hang on, the arc length is, bear with me, the arc length is precisely equal to the limit of this thing here. So the arc length is, hang on, bear with me, sorry. So hang on. So the arc length, well, take the limit as n tends to infinity now. Take the limit as n tends to infinity. So that will then take us to here. Okay. Yeah, we've done this many times in the past. If n tends to infinity, then the c that exists in between will, as n tends to infinity, delta x. So this is xk minus one, xk here. As you decrease delta x, this c here becomes the x. It will fall on top of x. Because c is always trapped in between the two. But as you squeeze these two together, then the c the c becomes the x. It has no choice, but because it's being squashed. It's being squashed. So this thing here will become this. So, and we've we've done this many times. We can jump from here to here, but you do need to understand the fundamental theorem of calculus 1 and fundamental theorem of calculus 2 and the mean value theorem to really to jump from here to here. And we've done these three in the past. Okay, so if you don't understand it, then track down these three parts here. Okay.